Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling a big one, a book that has totally changed the game for millions of people, Dave Ramsey's The Total Money Makeover. We're going to break down exactly how you can get your financial life in order step by step.
Okay, so let's kick things off with this quote, because wow, it really hits home, doesn't it? It just perfectly nails the core problem, this crazy cultural pressure we're all under. It pushes us into this endless loop of spending on stuff that doesn't really make us happy. And the worst part? It keeps us completely trapped financially.
So where do you even start to fix this? Well, according to the book, you've got to understand the world we're living in first. And the starting point is honestly a pretty bold claim. Our entire culture has made being broke normal. Think about it. Debt isn't just something that happens, it's practically expected. It's just how it's done.
And the book uses this amazing, classic analogy to explain how this happens. You know the one, right? The frog in the pot of water. If you throw a frog into boiling water, bam, it's going to jump right out. But if you put it in cool water and just slowly turn up the heat, that frog won't even notice the danger until it's way too late. And that right there is exactly how financial trouble creeps up on us. I mean, check out this statistic from the book. It's pretty staggering. 88% of college seniors are graduating with credit card debt. 88%. So for a ton of people, debt is just a normal part of life before they even get their first real paycheck. The water is definitely getting warm.
And this next line, this is so good. It really captures what the biggest roadblock is. You know, it's not some huge catastrophic financial disaster that stops most of us from building real wealth. Nope, it's just settling for fine. Just fine. A little bit of debt here, a car payment there. That feeling of it's not that bad is exactly what prevents us from ever getting to the best.
All right, so let's get into it. The next big piece of the puzzle is tackling all those financial myths. You know, the stuff our culture tells us over and over again until we just accept it as fact. And this is maybe the most important idea in the entire book. Winning with money, it has almost nothing to do with being a math genius. It's about your behavior. It's all about changing your habits, your mindset, not just slapping a Band-Aid on the problem.
So let's start with the big one. Myth number one, debt is a tool. We hear this all the time, right? Use it to your advantage. But the book argues it's the exact opposite. It says debt completely messes with the dynamic of your relationships. It creates this master-servant thing. I mean, think about it. If you loan money to a family member, Thanksgiving dinner just feels different, doesn't it?
Okay, what about leasing a car? So many people think it's the smart, sophisticated thing to do. Well, the book doesn't hold back at all. It basically calls a car lease a fleece. And the argument is pretty simple. Pretty much any consumer advocate, or even just a basic calculator, will show you that it is the single most expensive way to have a car, period.
And then there's the myth of easy money, the get-rich-quick dream. The book points straight at the lottery. And it's not presented as some harmless fun, but as a system that's basically built on false hope. It's something that preys on people who can least afford it, particularly lower-income folks who end up spending way more of their money on tickets.
Okay, so you've shifted your mindset, you've called out the myths. Now what? What's the actual practical plan? This is where we get to the real meat of the makeover. It's a system the book calls the baby steps.
And the whole philosophy behind this is so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. You know that old saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time? That's the idea. Instead of getting overwhelmed by trying to fix everything at once, you focus, like laser focus, on one single thing. And that focus is what builds momentum. You get these quick wins that make you feel like, hey, I can actually do this. So the plan kicks off with two very clear, very specific actions. Step one, get $1,000 saved up, fast. This is your starter emergency fund. It's not for vacation, it's your buffer when life throws a curveball at you. And then, as soon as that's done, you immediately pivot and start attacking your debt using a very specific method. And this part is crucial for everything that comes later. So, this method is called the Debt Snowball. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. A lot of financial experts will tell you, no, you have to pay off the highest interest rate first. And look, mathematically, they're not wrong. But remember what we said earlier? This isn't about math, it's about behavior. So with the snowball, you list out all your debts, smallest to largest, and you throw every extra penny you have at that smallest one. You just attack it. Then, once it's gone, poof, you take the money you were paying on it and roll it onto the next smallest debt. It's all about getting those quick wins to give you a huge psychological boost. It's the motivation you need to see this thing through to the end.
But here's a really important catch. This plan will not work if you're just kind of casual about it. It demands what the book famously calls gazelle intensity. And that metaphor is so perfect, right? You have to be running from your debt with the same life-or-death focus that a gazelle has when a cheetah is chasing it. It's not a hobby, it's survival.
So, all this work, all this intensity, what's it all for? I mean, it's not just about getting rid of the stress of debt, as great as that is. It's really about what you get to have on the other side of it all.
And this right here is the core mantra of the whole book. It's a call to action. It's about being willing to make sacrifices right now that most people just aren't willing to make. You know, saying no to that dinner out, driving an older car. Why? So that later, down the road, you can live and give with a kind of freedom and peace that those same people will only ever get to dream about.
Because in the end, the real goal isn't just about getting rid of a negative, getting rid of debt. It's about gaining all these incredible positives. We're talking about real peace of mind, security, the power to build a real financial future for your family. And maybe best of all, the freedom to be generous and just live your life without that constant knot of financial stress in your stomach.
So when you boil it all down, all the myths, all the steps, the whole entire makeover, it really comes down to this one single powerful question. It's a challenge, really. A challenge to imagine a life where you have zero payments, where every single dollar you earn is yours to decide what to do with, where your income is building your future, not just paying for your past. So what would you do?